2.
Good evening and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park. I'm Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. We have all 4 council members present. It is 7:31 p.m., so I'm calling the meeting to order. The first item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item on our agenda is the invocation that will be led by Chaplain Walker this evening.
Let us bow. O Lord, our Lord, we give you thanks for being able to be together in this form of communication. As we transition from pledging our allegiance to the flag and the ideal of love and integrity of our social life in the United States, assist us now in our pledge of allegiance to that divine and universal idea of love, law, and order, to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. Be with us so we can adequately experience your inspiration in all of our deliberations and decisions at this College Park Mayor and City Council meeting. It's our hope that these 2 pledges will provide the solid base for openness, communication, discernment, and appreciation, as well as universal creativity in and to our minds and hearts. May there be present that divine discontent in all of us as the infusion of striving for truth, justice, and knowledge, and new ways of being honest, open, and loving people. In our hearts, O Lord, and in our minds, we have an image of what it is to be like to be a person. But in this meeting, let us be more than just persons. Let us be inspired persons with courage and honesty to engage in communication with open thoughts, open hearts, and a desire to know what the other thinks and feels, especially as it concerns for the good of us. May this be a secure and safe place dedicated for us to be informed and to be included. Let us not forget, O Lord, our thanks for our mayor and our city councilmen as they labor to find new forms of adequate leadership and ways for living in College Park. And we would be remiss, O Lord, if we did not give you thanks for all the workers of College Park and their efforts in implementing the forms of life of honest living in College Park so we can have a social and spiritual home in College Park. Thanks go to all who are in leadership and have dedicated their work to our safety and our well-being. May we leave this meeting, O God, knowing we had the courage and the openness, the strength in our faith to be honest, open persons. Not just our beliefs about what good life is, but to have that experience of having shared honestly with each other our true concerns and our true needs. May we leave this meeting fully informed of what a good government can be. Now we give you thanks. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Item number 2, additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda.
Mayor, we do have a deletion. That would be item 8. Item 8C, D, E, and F.
8C through F.
Correct.
All right, deleted. Any other additions, deletions, amendments, or changes? Hearing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Clay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Taylor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is unanimous. We will delete items 8C through F. Item 3A is the regular session minutes from September 7th.
I move to approve as presented.
All right, is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Councilman Allen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is unanimous. Item 3B is the workshop session minutes from September 7th.
Move to approve as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Allen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions on that one? All right. Just want to make sure that was unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Item 4A is a presentation of a proclamation to Mrs. Jane Randolph in recognition of her decades of committed dedication to the city of College Park and the community at large. And let me go ahead and pull that up. Whereas Jane Smith Randolph, born February 18th, 1938 in Bunkie, Louisiana, married her husband Donald Randolph in 1962, and later in 1977, they settled into their home on Rugby Avenue within the city of College Park. And immediately, she began applying her expertise in advertising, public relations, and education to her new community. And whereas Mrs. Randolph served on several civic and city boards, including the College Park Women's Club, the Main Street Academy, the Housing Authority, and the Business Industrial Development Authority. During her BIDA tenure from 1996 to 2009, she served as vice chair and chair and was instrumental in the development of the GICC and the SkyTrain. And whereas as founding member of the historic College Park Neighborhood Association in 1978 and later president in 1992, Mrs. Randolph championed many homes and buildings being listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1996, thus creating the 4th largest historic district in Georgia. This designation preserved the architecture and cemetery during airport expansion. And whereas Mrs. Randolph also organized the first neighborhood block party on Rugby Avenue, which morphed into the historic College Park Arts Festival and remained a tradition for 17 years. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the mayor and city council of the city of College Park, Georgia, in recognition of Mrs. Randolph's years of dedicated commitment to the community at large, do hereby proclaim September 28th, 2021 as Jane Randolph Day. Want to give everyone an opportunity to share their sentiments about Mrs. Randolph. She is a force in this community, and we are better for her being here. And we wish her nothing but the best as she moves closer to family. But we are so grateful for everything that she has done to make College Park what it is.
Well, I just will second everything that's in that proclamation. I remember when I ran for city council, Jane took me around. I was relatively new to the community, and Jane took me around and helped me understand the better points of Ward 1 and where some of the issues were and what have you. And she's always been there, I think, to provide leadership to a lot of the citizens and issues that were being discussed over the years. So we'll miss you, Jane.
I'd just like to add that, Jane, you're a pillar in the community, great friend. Your husband, Don, was a great friend as well. Love having you in the community. And when my wife, Janine, and I moved into the area in 1994, and gosh, if my math is right, that's 27 years ago. Jane was one of the first people that I met, and just a great friend of College Park, a great friend of all the organizations that were mentioned here. And not enough good things can be said about Jane Randolph, and she deserves every single one of them. So thank you for what you've done for me and my wife. Thank you what you've done for the city of College Park, and thank you for all the boards and interest you've shown in the city. We love you very much.
All right. Anybody else have anything to add? All right. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and move forward. Item 5 is citizen remarks. Ms. Moore?
Good evening. I have a few citizen remarks. To get to the citizen remarks, you will need to go to www.collegeparkga.com and click on the main page. In the middle of the main page, there's a link to access this meeting. If you did not submit your comments before 7:00 p.m. today, you can log onto the link now and raise your hand, and you can speak for 1 minute. Specific topics may not be discussed during citizen remarks for more than 15 minutes. Also, I want to point out speakers who employ tactics of intimidation, profanity, or threats of violence in their comments will not have their comment read into the record. Okay, with that being said, my first comment is from Jason Malia. And there is profanity in this comment, so I cannot read that into the record. The next comment is from Kassem Latipo. And I will start my timer, 1 moment. And it reads, hello, my name is Kassem Latipo, and I live at 1951 West Rugby Avenue, College Park, Georgia, 30337. I had the pleasure of running for office in 2019 in College Park and enjoyed the experience largely because of my deep appreciation for how this city has embraced me and my family since we moved here 6+ years ago. During a very difficult time for us a little over a year ago, we were supported in so many countless ways by residents from every ward, business owners, and city employees. The community's support for us will never be forgotten, and it is why we could never see ourselves living and raising our boys in any other city. The deep sense of community here is like no other. I currently serve as the chairperson of the Planning Commission. It has been my honor to serve as an appointee of Councilman Ambrose Clay as we work in partnership with mayor and council, city staff, and other key entities to build a city that aligns with our newly adopted values of service, respect, equity and inclusion, innovation, and integrity and advancement. While we continue to build towards a city that fully embodies those values, I believe we are moving in the right direction. On the Planning Commission, we most recently noted how collaborative and progressive we have become, and with the purpose of moving all of College Park forward. The Comprehensive Planning Steering Committee, of which I'm a member, has also seen collaboration and thoughtful consideration of all current and future members of the community that we all love. We are not where we want to be, and those who know me well know that I am not bashful about sharing my opinion about my desired direction for the city. But I am also able to step back, reflect, and acknowledge where we have made positive change, even when I am not at the table. I can praise leaders that have stepped up even when I am not the person selected to lead. The reason for that is because at the end of the day, this is my village and nothing is ever bigger than health, sustainability of this village. All those who value this city should be protective of anyone who does not demonstrate the same love and passion. Thank you and God bless College Park, Kassem A. Latipo. Okay. The next comment is from Errol Babb. And I'm gonna start my timer. And it reads, my name is Errol Babb. My address is 4980 Welcome All Road, College Park, Georgia, 30349. I am writing to voice my opposition to this company, NextEra Energy, putting a 60-acre lithium-ion battery energy storage system on the undeveloped land behind my property. From the information I have received, this plant would be unsafe. Okay. The next comment is from Ruth N. And I will start my timer. And it reads, environmental discrimination overburdened community. EJ screen for Red Oak area shows more than 80% for harmful environmental factors already exists for people of Red Oak, Georgia. Area of proposed development, 60-acre lithium-ion battery facility. Dangerous, explosive, toxic, cancerous. Recent incidents. Meeting never posted. 1, first signs posted the day after public comment meeting, which occurred on June 28th. 2, signs posted in locations not visible or readable on grass or in curb on hill parallel to traffic. 3, no additional signs posted after hearing date change / extended. Lithium-ion batteries incident. Arizona 2019, firefighters opened door to container explosion caused catastrophic brain injuries. Incident report. Australia, July 30th. Australia fire, July 30th, 2021. Under control after 3 days. Moss Landing, Labor Day, September 2021, overheating incident. Okay, and that is all my comments that were emailed in. I do have a Shelby High that want to speak virtually. So if you're in the room, Ms. High, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and I will start the timer when you begin to speak.
Hi. First of all, I wanted to thank the mayor and city council for listening to our pleas as taxpayers and property owners in the state of Georgia. Thank you. And I want to say that members of the Delano Road community does not want next era in our neighborhood. And we're not giving them permission to harness or do anything with any of our power without written consent. And that's it for right now.
Thank you. Ms. Moore?
Okay, there were no others that signed in to speak.
All right.
Yeah.
Looks like Ms. McQueen has her hand up. If anyone else wishes to speak for 1 minute, they can have that opportunity at this time. Just go ahead and raise your hand. I will acknowledge you in order. And Ms. McQueen has her hand up and you can go right ahead and speak.
Hello, this is Kathleen McQueen, 1965 Lyle Avenue. I just wanted to state that I've been living in College Park for 13 years, and in these 13 years, over the last year and a half, I've seen so much growth and positive energy. I've seen so much transparency and constant work towards making this city great. Anytime something is mentioned on the College Park neighborhood board, quickly the interim city manager or the mayor responds and we see action. So I just wanted to acknowledge not only mayor, council, but the city and the city manager and staff that you all are. I see the change in the city and thank you so much. The other second comment is I wish that there's another consideration on renaming City Hall, because City Hall is a home of all citizens and it should be named that way.
Thank you, ma'am. Does anyone else wish to speak? Mr. Hicks, I don't see any additional hands raised. Do you?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right.
Ms. McQueen.
All right. Seeing no others, we'll go ahead and move forward. Item 6A is a discussion and update on the top 10 delinquent property taxpayers. We'll take that with item 6B as well on the top 10 delinquent utility customer accounts. Do we have any questions for Ms. Floyd Bradley on either one of these items?
There, I got all my questions answered, so I'm good.
All right. Anyone else? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and move to item 6C, College Park Utility Assistance Grant Program update. Ms. Floyd Bradley, it looks like there is money that is flowing to people who need it.
Yes, ma'am. We're currently, to date, we've awarded, well, part of the 381,000 includes the administrative fees, but collectively it's over 300,000 that have been awarded to residents. And I have about 20 more files on my folder from Friday, and I'll be approving that this week. So the number should go up considerably again.
Great.
We're almost there.
Are you still accepting applications?
We are still accepting applications, and also those who are on the list for disconnection, we're having them sign up so they can keep their utilities on as they go through the application process as well. So we're still accepting applications. Once the $500,000 is absorbed, we do have an additional 100,000 to award. So keep the applications flowing. We are accepting applications.
For someone who
No end date at all right now.
I'm sorry, sir.
There's no end date set up or
No, until the funds are gone.
And for people who wish to apply, can you let them know how to do that?
You can visit the website, City of College, www.cityofcollege.
But collegeparkga.com, right?
collegeparkga.com, and there is a link for the grant administrator. You contact her by email, and there is a number located on the website, and they will assist you. We prefer that you come in and we assist you with filling out the application, so there is no delay. So visit the city's website, and we have all the information listed there and who you would need to get in contact with.
All right. Any other questions for Ms. Fuller Bradley? Hearing none, we'll move forward to item 6D, consideration of an action on a request from Woodward Academy to host an alumni event. This is a one-time special event to be held on October 2nd.
I move to approve.
All right. Is there a second? All right. Any questions, comments on this one? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that's unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Item 6E is consideration of an action on a request from Yvonne Wiltz to host an off-premise event to serve alcoholic beverages for a 50th anniversary celebration. This is another one-time event to be held on Friday, October 2nd from 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. at Thomas Kennedy, Sampson, and Tompkins, located at 3355 Main Street.
I move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Taylor. Any questions, comments on this one? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right. That is unanimous.
Congratulations on 50 years.
It is an amazing accomplishment. It is the oldest minority-owned law firm, African-American law firm in the entire state of Georgia. And so this is a huge, huge accomplishment and one that deserves major recognition, and our hats are off. This firm has trained up many accomplished attorneys and judges in the area, and we are lucky to have them in our city. All right. Item 6F, consideration of an action on a request from the Historic College Park Neighborhood Association for an exemption to the advertising matter ordinance in order to display directional signs beginning October 4th for an annual community yard sale scheduled for October 9th from 8 to 2 in the Historic Neighborhood District.
I'm going to move to approve.
All right. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Councilman Allen. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is unanimous. Item 7A. It's a request for a public hearing to consider a request for the rezoning of 0 Roosevelt Highway from C2 Community Business to RM Multifamily Residential Zoning District.
Hi, everybody. This is Nikki Washington, City Planner. This is a request to set the public hearing for our next meeting, October 4th. This is a proposal to build an apartment complex of 72 units. They will be workforce housing, similar to some of the other applications that we've heard the past couple of years. They're also partnering with a nonprofit that is in the city of South Fulton. And this also fits in with our future land use map for this area, as well as the city of South Fulton's land use map for this area. If there's any questions for me, otherwise we're setting this for October.
These will be renters, not owners.
Correct. Yes, these will be leased.
I have one thing I'd like to add to the requirements, and that is this facility will be directly under the 244-degree flight path from runway 27 right. And a normal construction home reduces sound level by about 20 dB. I would recommend that we include a requirement, the end goal being that we keep the noise level inside this facility to 45 dBA. And that would probably mean something on the order of 30 to 35 dB of sound transfer coefficient, which is the same requirement that we put on what is it? I think it's Hawthorne Station that's on Herschel Road in Ward 4. And I think we probably will need a similar requirement on that. I think we should make sure the builders are comfortable with that.
Yes. So for this project in particular, they are receiving funding from the Department of Community Affairs. So they will need to meet that standard as well. Of course, our building code standard also includes that 45 dBA. So I will chat with them about it, make sure they're aware. But I would think that they will be able to meet that requirement.
It will make the construction costs a little more, probably 6-inch studs rather than 2-inch or 4-inch studs, but et cetera, et cetera. Okay, that's all I had.
I just want to mention that I only see one area for dumpsters, and we talked about this earlier with 72 places. They're going to need more dumpsters. What I hate to see around the city when I see it in rental places or in townhomes is dumpsters where trash is pouring over the top. So we need to make sure that they have the right dumpsters. And I think you said this was kind of a partnership where they're going to be working with a group from the city of South Fulton. Is that correct?
Yes. So this property is adjacent to a property in the city of South Fulton that is a nonprofit organization. That nonprofit organization actually reached out to this developer and builder, and they asked if they would be interested in developing this as a residential property, since right now it's zone C2, so it's heavier commercial, and they would like to see residential on this property. There should be a letter of support included in your packet from that nonprofit.
Right.
I don't want to get too far afield here because this is just the request for the public hearing. So if there are concerns about the actual application, I would ask that you meet with Ms. Washington in the interim to get some of those issues addressed, because we're just here on the request to set it for next time. So is there a motion for that?
So moved.
All right. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Taylor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Mayor, I just had one comment I'd like to make. It would be helpful in the agenda, probably not for us because we are here from one meeting to the next, but for the general public, if it could say either to set a public hearing or hold a public hearing in the agenda item, so that it's very clear for the public that they don't need to be there, that this is not the public hearing.
Understood. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Item 7B is a request for a public hearing, not actually having the public hearing tonight, to consider a request for the rezoning of 3120 Godby Road from R1 low density residential to RM multifamily residential zoning district. And the Planning Commission heard this at their August 30th, 2021 meeting and recommended approval. Is there a motion? Oh, sorry, Ms. Washington, go ahead.
Do you need me? I mean, I can just briefly, this is also to rezone to multifamily. This project is for cottage homes, 29 cottage homes is what they're proposing. You can see the outline in your packet there. They will also need to, if approved at the October 4th meeting. They will also need to go before the variance board to receive a variance for that unit size. They're smaller than what we allow for 1 bedrooms in the RM district. So just an FYI.
All right. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
All right. Is there a second? Councilman Allen, I think you might be seconding it, but you are muted.
I'll second since it's going to be just setting the public hearing.
Okay. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. We will put that on the next agenda as well. Item 8A, consideration of an action on a request for approval to replace the water source heat pump 15 located in the land room on the 4th floor of the FAA regional headquarters.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is to replace a water source heat pump. This is a budgeted item. Ron Wilkerson, he may be on the line, but it is budgeted and they did bid it out.
This is the recommendation is for Bachelor and Kimball in the amount of $23,615. Does anyone have any questions for interim city manager, Ms. Miller, or Mr. Wilkerson?
I do have one, and
Okay.
that is that there are some provisos in there that if the price escalates, it's going to be more than that and so forth. And I don't know how early compared to today or when this will be implemented, that estimate was made. So my question is, do we have a feel for what the ultimate price will be? Because I know some things have gone up dramatically recently, and I just want to make sure whether we're approving 23 or 40 or 30 or whatever.
Right now, this is the price that was quoted. This is the price that Bachelor Kimball gave them. So I'm not expecting it to be any more.
Okay.
If it goes up too far, we'll bring it back, but we're not expecting it to be much more.
Okay, I'm good.
All right. Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Is there a motion? Is there a motion to a vote? Excuse me. Sorry.
Move to approve.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Councilman Allen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That is unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Item 8B, consideration of an action on bids received for lighting improvements for the tennis courts at Barrett Park. That's coming from Ms. Johnson, and she is recommending Gresco in the amount of $34,844. Ms. Johnson? Ms. Johnson, I just saw her. Is she muted? Did anyone have any questions for Ms. Johnson?
No, I don't know what anyone else does. I'm ready to move to approve.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Taylor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is unanimous. Items 8C through 8F have been removed from the agenda. Item 9A is consideration of an action on a request for approval of a resolution authorizing the renaming of College Park City Hall in honor of late former Mayor Jack P. Longino.
Talk with Gloria Longino and ask her if she had a preference or if Jack had ever talked about it. She mentioned Jack P. Longino City Hall, which was my favorite as well. So I'm going to move that we accept the Jack P. Longino City Hall.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. I only heard 2. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. And those opposed? All right. So it passes unanimously. I apologize, gentlemen. I only heard 2. All right.
Thank you.
9B, deferred item, consider the rezoning of Zero Welcome All Road from BP Business Park to M1 Light Industrial Zoning District. Planning Commission heard this application at their June 28th, 21 meeting and recommended approval. Ms. Washington?
Hi, sorry. Yes, this item was deferred from the August 16th meeting. It is the rezoning from Business Park to Light Industrial for the Nextera project, the battery storage facility. This item was deferred due to some outstanding questions that had. This is not a public hearing. This is a decision item. Should the council decide to defer this item again due to the information just coming in, we would recommend that another public hearing be held due to that new information coming into light, I guess, so the public has an opportunity to review that information and comment on it. If there are any questions about that procedure or questions about this item, we are available to answer.
Well, I would like to speak in favor of deferring it. We have been looking into, in a fair great amount of detail, at least some of us, the technology that will be involved. We heard during the public comment portion of this meeting, we heard some comments of concern about safety. We also heard that during the public hearing, and the technology has vastly improved from what I can see over the last couple of years to provide a safe operation of the facility. But we want to look at that more. And so for myself, I would like to see it. I would like to see it deferred so we can consider additional information that we're in the process of receiving.
And I have a comment, Ms. Washington.
Sure.
So I don't necessarily need to look in it more. I mean, we're not voting tonight, but my position is that it's not something that the community wants, and I agree with the community. So I just want that for the record.
Any other
Yes,
questions or
sir.
comments? I'm sorry, Ms. Washington, go ahead.
Sorry, Mayor, I do want to point out, we do need to take a vote tonight.
Yes.
So just, you know, if that is to deny, approve, or defer, we do need to take a vote.
Is there a
move to
motion?
defer then
All right. Until when?
to the October 18, is it the second council meeting?
Yes, I would request the
second.
18th so we can, sorry, Councilman Allen, so that we can properly advertise for a public hearing.
Okay.
And
All right.
I'll
And-
second that.
and-
Okay, stop. Hold on, everybody. There's a motion from Councilman Clay to defer to the second meeting in October. Is there a second on that?
I'll second that since there's more information.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Allen. Now, go ahead. Discussion, questions?
The only comment I wanted to make was that one of the things we heard was that a lot of the residents felt they weren't properly notified. So if we're going to have the hearing and open it up for further discussion at the October 18th meeting, and we're going to announce that, I would suggest that we address some of the issues that have been brought up by the residents about the placement of signs, that they not be obscured by grass growing up or what have you, et cetera, et cetera. And make sure that everybody knows. I noticed Mr. Lovelace is on the Zoom call. I can see his name on here. And he and I have talked before. And I'm glad to see him here because I'm sure he'll spread the word back to the other residents there. But I think we also need to back it up with putting the signs out, and make sure that they're well observable. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Hearing none,
Well,
we'll move to a vote. I'm sorry, Councilman Taylor, go right ahead.
I thought that from what I heard, the people don't want it, period. you know, if we're gonna defer, we're gonna defer, but I think we should listen to that. They don't even want it. Majority of the people don't even want it in their neighborhood anyway. So if we're gonna defer it to another day, what about the people that don't get the opportunity to get on here and say what they're gonna say, you know, because we ain't like we in chamber like the last time. So I think we still in the same situation. You know, deferring and just giving us some more time. But I heard the people loud and clear say they don't want it in their neighborhood. I wish it was somewhere else we can find, you know, in the city that's not near anyone homes to do the project, because I think it is an okay project. But I do agree they don't want it near their homes. I think we should find another way to do that.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of deferral to the second meeting in October?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Hold on one second. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Opposed.
All right. And that means that we are tied, and I will vote in favor to defer to October. Item 10, new business. We don't think we have any of that. So we move on to item 11A, consideration of an action on a request to impose a 90-day moratorium on the acceptance of applications for new alcoholic beverage licenses.
I'll move to approve that.
Well, I won't say anything.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman Clay. You made a motion. Is there a second?
I made a motion to approve the moratorium.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Taylor. Mr. Denmark, go right ahead.
I was just going to say, Madam Mayor, that this was just to allow the city an opportunity to complete its review and analysis to amend the alcohol ordinance, and it would impose a 90-day moratorium in this interim period while we endeavor an effort to finalize the revisions to the ordinance.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I just think we need to, what if we have a business that's just getting ready to come in to the city of College Park? We need to take a look at those. So, you know,
May I comment on that?
Hold on. Wait, let's let Councilman Allen finish his
No, that's
question.
fine. That's all I had. I just think we need to, any new businesses that were requesting a liquor license, you know, I hate to keep putting people off, so.
Ms. Moore, go right ahead.
No, I was just going to add that we do have a few new businesses that have already started the alcohol license process, so they would not be affected by the moratorium. This would go into effect tomorrow for any new businesses, if approved tonight.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that is unanimous. Thank you. City Manager's report.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
All right, thank you. Report of Mayor and Council. We'll start with Councilman Clay.
Yes, I had several items. First one being, can someone give me a status on the progress in joining the Fulton County Land Bank? That's been in the works for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. We successfully joined the Clayton County Land Bank, and that had facilitated some of the things we wanted to do. And we talked about joining Fulton County, and I haven't heard anything.
I could provide a response if you'd like one, Councilman Clay. Can you hear
Pardon?
me?
Yes.
Yes. Economic Development has, we reached out to the Fulton County Atlanta Land Bank Authority many, many years ago. And the Fulton County Atlanta Land Bank Authority said that they would eventually work us into becoming a part of the Land Bank Authority. I've been keeping in contact with Christopher, who is the, I can't remember his last, Christopher Norman, who is actually the president of the Land Bank Authority. And to date, we have not been able to, I guess, be added. I can find out the status and have that information for you at the next council meeting if you would like. But we have been trying, but we're kind of waiting for Fulton County Atlanta Land Bank Authority to find out how everything was going to be divvied up. How their Land Bank Authority is set up is that Fulton County pays a certain percentage of the overall expenses for the Land Bank Authority, and so does the city of Atlanta. With us having a smaller population and also being a separate city, they're trying to figure out how it would be, I guess, how our portion of the budget, how things would be divvied up. But it would be something that we would have to pay on an annual basis, unlike the Clayton County Land Bank Authority that we're currently members of right now. But I can bring you an update at the next council meeting.
Artie, can you tell me what is the purpose of the payment and why does it exist in Fulton versus Clayton, just out of curiosity?
Well, for the Fulton County Atlanta Land Bank Authority, they have a pretty robust staff. They have at least probably 9 or 10 people that staff the Fulton County Atlanta Land Bank Authority. For Clayton County, there are no staff at all. They have an attorney that is paid, which is compensated through Clayton County Board of Commissioners. That's the biggest thing that I can see differences, but they both have the same powers. Also, I believe Atlanta is probably the largest land bank authority in the United States and one of the first that was set up. So it's considerably a lot more active and knowledgeable in exercising those authorities that they have.
So if there isn't apparently not a strong motivation to resolve this issue because it's been going on for a long time, it would seem to me that you could either base it on the amount of acreage, the amount of development dollars, the amount of citizens. There are a lot of factors that you could use to split up the cost. Probably on any of those measures, we would be, as you pointed out, very small. How can we make this more of an important issue to get it resolved? I mean, and I'm not asking you to answer that question now. It's sort of a rhetorical question. What do we need to do to motivate resolution on this issue? And what are the things that are problematic? You know, what are the showstoppers, the blockages, whatever, that would present that? And I wish you'd look into that. Maybe you could tell us that when you report back that, well, you know, this is a really sticky issue. Well, maybe we can work on that. The other question I would ask is, and I think I know the answer to it. If we cannot join the Fulton County Land Bank, is there any way to join a land bank that is countyless or create our own land bank? Again, that's a rhetorical question. Because I think there's a big advantage to a land bank. I think we saw that already in at least one of the transactions that we made. So it would be nice if we could move forward on that.
I'll work towards escalating and get answers for the city council to be presented at the next meeting.
Thank you, sir. And my next question is, do we have any expectations, Mercedes, of where we might be as far as closing rugby for Halloween? I'm getting some questions from some of my constituents as to whether we're going to have a Halloween or not. And I know your guess may be as good as mine or anybody else's. There are a lot of concerns for COVID and so forth. But do we have any idea? If not, if we don't know now, when we think we will know?
We will know by the next meeting, but I know the big Halloween event they have in Bryan Park in East Point, it was canceled today. So I will take a look at what we do and I will have an answer at the next meeting.
I know my gut feeling is to lean toward safety and so forth. I've been ducking a number of things that I would normally have gone to, even though I'm vaccinated and what have you. Okay, and my last question, and I'm sorry to make your life difficult, but I've been reluctant to ask about this in the past because I know you've got your plate full and there's a lot going on in the city and you've been spinning up on this job. But is there any way we could reinstitute the city manager info letter? And you don't have to answer that now, but that's sort of another question maybe to be deferred. Terrence had a city manager info letter. It was helpful. It answered a lot of questions, and I think it would be helpful. On the other hand, I do not want to stress you out. You've got a lot on your plate right now with everything going on in the city. And that's why I've been reluctant to ask about it in advance, or previously, but it's something to consider. And that's all I had tonight.
All right. Councilman Taylor?
I don't have anything.
All right, Councilman Allen?
Just a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to thank the Old National Merchants Association for the event they put on this past Saturday, 5K walk and run. There were a lot of people there walking, running, enjoying the day in the slight rain we had, but it was a well-organized event, and I just want to thank them for putting that on each year. I want to remind city council members and mayor, because twice this week, I went straight to department heads and we're asking questions. And I think it's very important that we let Mercedes or our new city manager, when council and mayor go to straight to department heads, that we just kind of clue them in with an email or text. And I was amiss on that a couple of times this week, and it just kind of brought it to light that I should have been making sure that Mercedes was aware of what was going on. Last thing I have is somebody mentioned to me, and I went by the retention ponds over at the FAA. They're inside the fence at the FAA, and I'm not sure, they look like they hadn't been cleaned out in years. And I didn't know if that was the responsibility of College Park or the FAA. And I don't know if y'all could just check into that and see, and somebody take a look at them, because right behind the FAA, there's one retention pond that's cut, and one of them is just got a lot of growth in it. So that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Allen. Councilman Gay?
Yes, ma'am. I just have 3 items. I also want to congratulate Thomas Kennedy. I've known him for years. I also think it's an opportunity for us to see how we can maybe provide some services to them as we grow, particularly on the biter side. The second thing I have is that I want to bring you up to speed that the Hawthorne Station is starting to implement their road. A lot of their infrastructure is being completed. That's going to bring a lot of revenue online. I think the homes are from the 300s. So as we discuss the tax for the seniors, which should not be a lot, we could offset it with the new revenue that we should have from the Hawthorne Station. And my final comment is for Jackson. Jackson, you and I have talked about an alternative way to add a safety pedestrian for Lakeshore. I understand and I agree that there are a lot of residents who don't want us to encroach in their yard. I agree with them, but we've talked about traffic calming, which is an alternative way that we can provide a safety way to walk as well as not encroach. So I would like for you to maybe look at what that will cost, what that looks like as an alternative to sidewalks. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. And lastly, I want to echo Councilman Allen's sentiments to the Old National Merchants Association. It was a great 5K on Saturday. I do believe I finished first for mayors, but I do believe I was the only mayor in the race. So I'll still take it, though. It was still an enjoyable morning and great to see everybody at the race. And it's a great opportunity for both College Park and South Fulton to come together and engage in some steps and thanks to Train or Die for making sure that everybody was well stretched out and warmed up for the race before we actually started. So we have a youth council that we are starting in College Park, and we want your youth to be a part of it. So the deadline is to submit the application is September 30th. And we are very excited about bringing more kids into the process so they learn more about how our city works. So please go ahead, get the information on the screen, scan that QR code. We would love to have your kids join us and come make a difference, because it's a great opportunity and a lot of other cities are doing the same thing, and we see them at conferences and such, and we would love for kids in College Park to participate as well. Just wanted to let you know, starting in October, I will be having open office hours. And so the dates in October 14th, I will be available from 1 to 5, and all day on October 25th. I want you to come in. I'll be at City Hall. Would love to see you. Come in and talk about anything you want. I will remind you to make sure that you have the dates and have the information. It's been a little bit difficult with COVID. We will be socially distanced and everybody will need to wear masks, but I would love to see you, hear what's on your mind as we continue to build the community that we deserve. Again, that'll be October 14th from 1 to 5 and October 25th all day long. So hope you can come in and say hello. Also, let's see, I feel like I'm forgetting one last thing. Well, I guess that's it. So we have one item out of executive session that needs to be approved. That would be cybersecurity issue A. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Clay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Taylor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, that is unanimous approval. And we also have the executive session minutes we need to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Clay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Allen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is unanimous as well. That concludes our business this evening. It is 8:28 p.m. I hope everyone has a great week, and we will see you back here on the first Monday in October. Take care.